Shalom, shalom, Shabbat, shalom, man. Your brothers over here, the hopeful elect. Got your brother Azrael, brother Denal,
with Obadiah.
Khan, and the brother Isaiah. Right? Might be having technical difficulties, but nonetheless, man, we got a Sabbath lesson for you guys, man. It should be a good one, right? It'll be a little something to think about and a little history lesson, right? Before we get into it, we want to give all glory and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through His Son, who He sent as an instrument of salvation for the nation, and that nation is Israel, right? This lesson is titled "The Beauty of the Chaldees," right? I want to start off by reading this scripture. If one of the brothers could read this scripture real quick when I share the screen. This is going to kind of be our anchor precept or anchor scripture.
Hey, man, I don't want to, I know it don't matter, man, but I did want to introduce the brother. He's going to be laboring with us, man, the brother Obadiah. You guys might have seen him on our on our comments from time to time. I think the Bible Prince was you on the comments.
Khan, yeah, Bible Prince King.
And I believe he got a channel too, man. So y'all go support that. But he probably gonna be uploading on this channel too. So y'all stay tuned for that. We'll probably make another video, going into how we met and all that stuff. But I did want to introduce you guys to him because he's a new face on the screen, man. You guys might not know who he is, and we kind of, zoom past that. But it's a good brother, Obadiah. We've known him for some time now. One of the most sincerest brothers I know in this truth, man. So I'm glad to have him with us,
Khan, man, I'm sure we will, do a whole video, Lord willing, probably like next week. And we'll go into it, not to say that every time we get a new member, we're going to do a video, but this brother, he's a little different it means a little different, right? And when we do the video, you'll see why it's a little different, man. It's been a long time coming. But Khan, man, let's get into it, man. If a brother could read this, I know what y'all gonna say. It looks small. I know.
You want me to share, King?
Nah, because I got a whole bunch that I need to share. I mean, yeah, I got a bunch that I need to share. Hold on, let me see.
It's probably showing up that way. I'm gonna tell you why. And
I got the page minimized.
Well, that, and you probably can crop it. So the more you crop it closer, the bigger it's gonna be.
Nah, it's the opposite because I had it cropped close so that I could see both screens. I'm opening it up now, though. Opening it up now. I know what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the StreamYard screen small and this screen big. That's what I'll do. That way I can still see.
Shouldn't be that hard.
Huh?
It shouldn't be that hard.
Be patient, brother. Be patient. It's looking bigger.
No, it just got smaller. It's getting smaller.
It's getting smaller.
That's why I told you, bro. The closer you crop it in, the bigger the screen gonna become. Also, if you want,
I'm bringing it in. Look, it's getting smaller. I feel like
keep putting it in. Yeah, it is getting. I mean, it's not getting smaller, but I'm gonna tell you where the sweet spot is. Keep going. Keep going. No, in. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
It's getting smaller though.
Nah. Word wise, it's not getting smaller. That should be fine, man. That should be fine.
Just leave it right there.
Good.
Yeah, it's fine, man. And what I'll do is I'll just make sure I widen my screen so I can see it better. But it's fine like that.
All right. If a brother could read this real quick, man. Isaiah 13 and 19.
the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and 19, it says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah."
Right. So Isaiah 13 is a future prophecy. It's not talking about the Babylon of old, right? We've done lessons on that. But Isaiah 13 is talking about the mystery Babylon, the daughter Babylon. It's talking about the Babylon to come. And we're going to go over why it's saying the beauty of the Chaldees excellency. Because if you read that, you might not know what's going on. You know, I know for a fact there's a lot of people that go to mega churches. They don't know what that means. Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of Chaldees excellency, right? Shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? This is good to know because you got to understand where you are right now in time, right? We understand that we are in mystery Babylon, right? A lot of people are thinking. I've seen some takes from some Christian apologists and apologetics and some pastors, and they think that we're in Nineveh, or they think that we're in all these other places that's not Babylon, right? And they make their they make their case for it. And that's why they believe that there's hope for this place. That's why they believe that they can pray for this place. That's why they believe that, you know, they can vote for a president and the president gonna change some things and all that. Like, and God got their hand on this president. So that's why, it's because they don't understand prophecy, right? Once you understand that Babylon is Babylon and in mystery Babylon, daughter Babylon, it's gonna reflect a lot of things that the original Babylon did, right? Before we get into that, though, I do want to jump over here to this YouTube video, right? Want to play this real quick, man. Can y'all see it?
Nah, it says click to exit full screen.
My bad.
You're gonna have to probably just play it right there.
Yeah, I'll play it right here. But this right here, if you haven't noticed, man, smart technology is getting crazy. Smart technology is getting crazy, man. Not only do we have smartphones, but we have smart watches, and now we have smart rings, right? We got smart rings now. And so I'm gonna just show you some clips of this smart ring that's going viral, right? You might find it in Target. I think they have them in Walmart now. You got them in the mall, right? It's called an Aura ring, right? So I want to play this. And so y'all can get if y'all didn't know, y'all can get a good glimpse of what's going on in the world right now, because it's kind of pricey. So if you live in an honest life, you may not have heard of it, you're not gonna buy it, right? But a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers on YouTube and Instagram, they've been buying it, right?
And this is the fourth generation, man. So it's not their first rodeo. They actually been around for a minute. But like the brother said, man, you know, if you know, technology and stuff like that wasn't on your radar, it might have, you know, went over your head. I know it went over mine. I didn't really learn about them till this year. So
come on, man. So this is the Aura Ring 4.
Aura Ring 4 is designed around a new sensing platform, Smart Sensing. It's powered by an algorithm that works with the research-grade sensors on Aura Ring 4 to make them smarter and even more accurate. And those sensors don't just measure your biometrics. They now adapt to your finger, understanding its unique structure and skin tone, then intuitively finding the most efficient signal to monitor your health, whether you're on the go or fast asleep. The sensors adapt, working in the background to ensure accuracy. The result is a more accurate experience with fewer gaps in your data, all while optimizing battery life. Get a more personal, complete picture of your health with Smart Sensing, only on Aura Ring 4.
Right, that's the first video. So like, y'all were able to hear that?
kind
Right, so it's using smart sensing, and they got like a little dust going, right? Smart sensing pretty much to read your whole body, man. It mentioned biometrics. Do any of you guys know what biometrics is? I'm gonna get the definition for y'all.
I'm guessing like the metrics of your body, kind of like when you go into a hospital and they're reading your they got the little machine that reads your blood pressure, your heart,
Vitals.
your vitals. Yeah. So it probably does something similar to that, reading the metrics of your anatomy.
Right. You hit it on the head, right? So let's read this definition that artificial intelligence gave us.
It says biometrics refers to the measurement and analysis of unique physical or behavioral characteristics to identify or verify individuals.
Right. So it's supposed to be very unique to each person. Everybody has unique biometrics. That's why you can see over here fingerprint, because we know fingerprints are unique to everyone. Right. I want to show you guys the biometrics that Aura rings detect. I think they detect up to like 20 biometrics. Some of the things being heart rate variability, body temperature, respiratory rate, and body oxygen, SpO2.
Saturation.
Right? Yeah, saturation, Salakia. Blood oxygen saturation, right? That also tracks your sleep stages, right? From REM sleep, deep sleep, light sleep. Body temperature is, but it was a lot more. I'm trying to figure out where it's at because I wish I would have saved the page, but it tracks stuff even like a woman's menstrual cycle, right?
Wow. So that's the third generation you said? Like that's not their first. I have never heard of that ring.
This is the fourth generation.
I'm not gonna lie, I never heard of it either.
How much do they cost? You said it was pricey.
They like 400, 500.
Yeah, that's why I ain't never heard of
Or ring. Can check.
Brother said they like 400, 500. Oh yeah, that's why I ain't never heard of it.
Yeah, that's why I ain't never heard of it. I don't need to hear about it.
Right. It says, yes, the Oura ring can be used to track and monitor menstrual cycles. So that's how much of your biochemistry, your anatomy that these sensors can get up to, right? It also can check how tall and how heavy you are.
Dang.
Right.
I mean,
tell you, the Oura ring itself does not measure weight or height. It relies on what does it say?
User provided
data. Okay. Which are then used to calculate the metrics like cardio. Okay, so it's going to ask you to input that stuff. I don't know though, because I think this is the other Oura ring. I think because this one got the ridges on it. I think the Oura ring 4 does. Because I saw anyway. I'm gonna play another video because the other video might say it. I forgot I had another video to play.
It's just like an Apple Watch though. Apple Watch can do all that same thing. Check all your vitals, because my Apple Watch was first generation when I had it, and it was checking all my vitals, my heart rate, oxygen, blood oxygen saturation, sleep patterns, stuff like that, cardio activity when I'm exercising and stuff.
Right. I got a watch, man. It'll tell me how hydrated I am. Like it tracks like how hydrated I am. So it's crazy. But listen to the wordplay. Listen to the wordplay in this video. And you see, they got all different shades and colors and things of that nature. They making it seem like it's advancing life, right? Mm-hmm. And that, it goes with everybody's lifestyle and it makes life easier and it makes you healthier.
That Baptist finger.
And you see, they got it on all ages of people, man. They got it on old, young, white, black.
Seems like a cell.
Give us the finger. Give us the finger. Who is us? in the first place,
Right.
And who is all this data being tracked to? That's what I want to know, right? I got another video I want to show y'all on this. That's gonna show you a little bit more of like what we were Googling. It's gonna show you some of like the behind the scenes mechanics of the Oura Ring right here. We won't play all 3 minutes, but we'll play enough.
Finland is special in terms of some values and characteristics inherent to the culture. There's this desire for balance and calmness and humility that you can also see in the product itself. I'd almost go as far as to say that you couldn't have made a product like the Oura Ring anywhere else.
Right, so this product is made in Finland, right? But it's found its way all the way over here to the Americas. Why? Because we know America, the buying power of American citizens is crazy. 2, I want you guys to understand, like when we first started this video, we talked about Babylon, right? And we'll get into it with the scriptures. But keep in mind, Babylon was an empire. It wasn't a country or a nation for real. It was an empire which controlled and used wise men and smart people from all different countries, right? And we see the King Nebuchadnezzar hired the wise men and made councils of them, hired them in his courts and stuff like that. We see that he got the 3 Hebrew boys and he got Daniel in his court as well, because they were some of the smartest, wisest people in the land, right? Of our people. So just because it's Finland where it was created does not mean that this is not still under a Babylonian influence, right? A modern day Babylonian influence, right? Because we understand that other nations can be used in Babylon. It's a collective effort. That's what an empire is.
Finns tends to have a very high bar for design, so we kind of expect a lot. Everything should kind of fit their purpose.
And whether it's a service, whether it's digital, whether it's a physical object, it's very much in consideration of humans and how they behave.
Oura Ring 4, we are really raising the bar. It's a step forward in delivering our future goals. It's the next version of the thinking that's been.
So here goes Gen 1, right? Gen 2, Generation 3, and now we're at Generation 4, right? So it started off kind of big and bulky, and then it had some ridges on it. Then it had some minor ridges, but now it's completely smooth, as they're going to talk about, right? And, you know, one could use this as a wedding band, or, you know, it just looks like a normal ring, and they come in all different colors and things of that nature, right? But the people that are talking, those would be the wise men of Babylon, right? These people that's using to the science and to put this stuff together, right? This stuff is not just handed. Like we take everyday things for granted, like our phones. Being able to FaceTime somebody in a different state is crazy. It's absurd, but it's so normal to us now, right? Technology has become so normal. They put this word technology on it, to where it's, you know, it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's technology, right? But really it's sorcery, it's magic, right? And these scientists are wise men or women that know how to use sorcery and magic, right? They just changed the name on it.
It's been going on for 10 years. We want to get a 24/7 total picture of the physiology and the health of the person.
Oura Ring 4 is the most comfortable smart ring ever made. It's fully titanium. It's super light. There were 3 bumps in Generation 3, which are now almost completely reduced. So it's this perfect circle that really glides into the finger.
Titanium doesn't just sound fancy. It is incredible material. It allows us to shrink the enclosure to an almost unrealistic level without uncompromised mechanical structure.
Right. So they're even these scientists and doctors and architects that's coming up with it, they're pretty much saying that what we've been able to do is almost unbelievable, right? It was almost impossible that we were able to do something like this, right? You know, so I forgot what I was going to say, man. I'm gonna keep playing it.
It's easy to make a ring, but it's really hard to make one that blends into your life, that you can carry on with life without noticing that it's there. So that requires rocket science to make it super tight, reliable, accurate.
You know how they make the saying where it's like, hey, it's not rocket science. This man is saying it took rocket science to make this ring, right?
Witchcraft.
Hey, they're subtly telling you, just like Brother Obadiah just said, it took witchcraft to make this, man. This is not some normal technology. They're trying to put it in a way that the public can receive it, but they're saying like this is witchcraft. Go ahead.
And it reminds me, man, I remember when they came out with the SpongeBob movie and Plankton was making these little chum bucket hats and everybody was getting the chum bucket hats and stuff. And then he ended up I think he ended up pressing a button and the chum bucket hats went over their face and he was able to control them. So I feel like a lot of this technology that they making is coming off to the public as, it's good, it's something that's good to have, but then they got another switch to it that's able to, control you, and that's why they're getting all your information and stuff to be able to
think about it too. Like, I mean, even on that level, like what if they got something going on to where they can make it happen to where you can't get the ring off, like it closes in on your finger, something like that, you can't get it off. Or like, for instance, like say another pandemic broke out and it's giving you false readings on all your vitals and all that stuff, but since you trust in it so much, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna put all your trust in the information that is given to you. When it starts lying to you, you still gonna trust in that, and then not a doctor in the world can tell you that is wrong.
Right, man. Y'all make some mighty points, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. So like, I'm gonna be frank with the audience, man. I was frank with the brothers. I was gonna spin this into like a Mark of the Beast type of video, because man, the things that they're doing is just crazy, and how normal they're making it seem is crazy. But like, with all the stuff the brothers have just said, this could go south real fast. Right. I know a lot of brothers is looking at the RFID chip, and I'm not by no means saying that it is or isn't, or it's going to be the ring instead. Like, I'm just telling y'all, I'm just showing you guys multiple different ways, right? Facets that they can try to control the people, man, and make it look attractive. I will say this, paraphrasing, it says that even the elect might be deceived if he didn't cut the day short, right? This ring looks attractive to me. Like, I was in the store looking at it. I was like, man, I might get me this ring, until I had to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Where is this information going? This information is being pulled, right? They could make it so. And I was talking about this with my rib being my wife, for those that don't know. You can pay with your phone nowadays. Like, people got Apple Pay and stuff like that. You just tap your phone, right? You know what I'm saying? You could tap your watch nowadays. So think about this. If you could literally have all that in your finger and as a ring, a stylish ring, because everybody like jewelry, you just tap in to get into doors, tapping it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just showing y'all there's multiple ways to skin a cat when it comes to the Mark of the Beast, right? And like the brother Dan said, they could have it to where it's a permanent ring. You never know. Mm-hmm. And this ring could be lying to you, influencing you to make decisions based off of your health, right? And you'll start to hear them talk about it doesn't matter the skin color and all that. You got to question yourself. What are you bringing skin color in for jewelry? Like, what does that have to do with anything? It's kind of weird, right? I'm gonna keep playing though.
I can say one more thing, King.
Go ahead.
And even, man, it's so crazy because on one, I think it's called the first purge. I think they got like 4 or 5 of them. The first purge was when they was experimenting in the ghettos. It was going around experimenting in the ghettos and things like that. And I think they would put something in their eye on the purge. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I think they'll put something in their eye, and they was able to track them, and they was able to see what they were seeing. Like they put like a little contact in their eye, and the people that was behind it, they was able to see what he was seeing. So I feel like that can be something too, like something that they could be making as well as this ring, like a tracker on it.
Right.
They can be able to, so if all hell break loose and you trying to hide, they can track you. And like the brother Denal said, you won't be able to take it off. So you can't try to take it off or throw it So they're gonna always know where you at if you try to run.
Yeah, it's a wrap. You're gonna have to cut off your finger.
Yeah.
Right. But here's my thing though. The crazy part is in the second video, your brother Azrael showed, she said we wanted something that you could even forget that was on you. So even to your point, it's like it could be tracking you. People could be trying to find you. You trying to figure out why they making headway. You forgot this ring, could possibly be tracking you. By the time it's too late for you to throw it away, you know what I'm saying? It'd be too late. I also wanted to comment on one thing Brother Azrael said too, though. When it comes to the Apple Pay and all that stuff, I have some employees, man. They're younger. They're 20, 22, 21. And we had to go pick up some feed from a farm supply store. But before we went, we stopped at Burger King, right? Because they was hungry. And, I'm thinking like, I'm asking them like, hey, where y'all money at? This, that, and the third. Everybody saying, oh, I left my wallet back at the barn. I left my wallet back in the car. Da, da, da. I ain't got my wallet or my keys on me. And I'm like, why not? What you talking about? I mean, everything on my phone. You know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of crazy to me, man, because we kind of grew up. It was always told to us, make sure you have your wallet, your ID, and your keys on you and all that stuff. But now they really was looking at me sideways and thinking I was doing too much for carrying around my keys and my wallet and my ID with me 24/7. And they really legit was kind of looking at me sideways. And I just thought that was kind of funny, man, because as much as time progresses, you're going to see us rely more and more on technology and trust technology to the point where we're going to be so far gone and so well controlled, without even thinking about it. They're conditioning us so hard and so easy to where it's look weird if you carry around tangible things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of weird how technology is advancing and moving so fast.
Yeah, man. It's weird if you got cash nowadays. You kind of go to the register and you almost feel poor if you have to pull out some cash.
Right.
They almost make you feel bad. Like you got change you feel bad for asking if somebody got a change, bro. So like, yeah, that's just where life is headed, man.
No, for real.
I'm gonna keep reading, keep playing. I mean,
you have added more sensing capabilities. It's able to tackle, for example, ring rotation, regardless of your skin tone, regardless of the finger that you wear the ring. The smart sensing capability really optimizes the.
What does smart sensing have to do with your skin tone? That's what I want to know. Why they bring that into it?
Hey, and it's so crazy. Like the ring, man. You just never know. It can be something in the ring that make you sick. That can stick you, like something like a part that you didn't know that was in the ring that can stick you into your finger.
It almost make you want to lie. Like if you buy the ring, you might want to lie and be like, "No, I'm a white man. I'm not a black man."
Right. Yeah.
It's hidden truth behind movies, man. It made me kind of want to go watch Lord of the Rings. I ain't gonna lie to you. See what all that was about.
I ain't never really seen Lord of the Rings, man. I just know even now, like we see what they're trying to do with AI. All that stuff going on, and you got movies like Iron Robot or I'm Robot with Will Smith, and you got Terminator when the robots and stuff start taking over. So this all can be going hand in hand, with all that stuff. AI,
even with Thanos, bro, and collecting those rings, bro.
Yeah, the gemstones.
Stones, con.
Signal fidelity, signal quality, and the power efficiency based on the exact position that the ring is placed on you.
So even on a hardware level, we are now adapting to your body.
Smart sensing is a great leap in terms of how we are able to help a regular person to improve their well-being.
When you are wearing rings 24/7, you are continuously able to see what's happening in your body.
Every day, you should.
Another thing, man, we're supposed to depend on the Most High, man, for the well-being of our body. Once you start depending on technology too much, man, it's kind of fighting against your belief, right? It's kind of fighting against your belief, meaning you're relying too much on man to keep you healthy, right? You're relying too much on robotics, and not the Most High God and the will for His life. Meaning, we see it over and over again. You know, Coach Prime just beat cancer, but you know, how many people, when the doctor tell them they got cancer, they're defeated already because they trust in the doctor. And how many people do we know that have testimonies and like, now the doctor told me I had cancer. I told him, no, I don't. And the Lord healed me. How many, you know, we hear testimonies like that all the time. My thing is this: you got to understand that you need to trust in the Lord over man, right? No matter what man say, no matter what technology say, where do your trust lie in for your health, right? The brother Isaiah always likes to pull the scripture in Ecclesiasticus talking about it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster, but thy word, O Lord, that brought us back to health, right? Paraphrasing.
Wisdom of Solomon.
Oh, Wisdom of Solomon, Salakia.
You can actually figure out that if something is changing.
Success for Outer Ring 4 means that we were able to help you in your journey of improving for your well-being and your health in the most compelling and magical manner.
I want y'all to pay attention to what he just said. Magical manner. Now, this is called this. I'm gonna play the rest of this because we don't got that much more. But before we go there, I want to go to the blue letter real quick and show y'all. I typed in the word Chaldean, right? Right. I typed in the word Chaldean, right? And what it is Kasdai, right?
Strong's H3779. Kasdai.
Right? Kasdai, Chaldee, right? What does it say? Clod breakers, right? Don't know really what that means. Inhabitants of Chaldea, right? Living in the lower Euphrates and Tigris. We know that we were promised everything from the Nile to the Euphrates, right? Number two, those persons considered the wisest in the land, right? Remember what he just said in the video. It's magical. Now look at this: Chaldean, inhabitant of Chaldea, by implication, a magician or a professional astrologer. Chaldean, right? So the Chaldeans' excellency, right? We're dealing with magicians. We're dealing with sorcerers, right? Go ahead.
Con, man, even to back off the point that you said, man, it's just like, you know, Babylon is full of witchcraft, man. Even when you go into Hollywood and you go into I remember when I was younger, when I used to watch Disney Channel, and they'd have a celebrity and they'd give them a wand, and they'd be like, they'll say their name and they're like dun 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 dun, and they'll blow the they'll draw the like the Mickey Mouse ears. And even like I heard some rappers say before they release the album, they'll hire a witch to like basically like cast spells on their music, so people will continue to constantly listen to their music and continue to pay for their music, man. And even in the sports entertainment, you know, in basketball or just, you know, sports in general, I remember they call everywhere in Babylon, witchcraft involved. They call basketball player Luka Magic. They say Luka Magic at the end. Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they put it in your face. It's a lot of sorcery and witchcraft going on in this kingdom. That's why we gotta continue to pray and cast down those thoughts and imaginations that come, because a lot of those thoughts and imaginations come from the higher ups casting spells on us, man.
Yeah. Orlando Magic, Washington Wizards, right? It's all over, right? Let me finish playing this real quick.
Every life is unique. The Oura Ring is made for everybody, but it's also made just for you.
If you go into the store, this is how they have it displayed. They have like a little wooden table, and then they got them all lined up like that. They got gloss black, stealth. They got platinum, rose gold. They got yellow gold, and then they got I don't know if that's space gray or not. I forgot the name for that one. Like I told you, I was looking into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, that price definitely, hey, that all praises to the Most High. That price definitely made me rethink, man. You know what I'm saying? Once I saw that price, I said, let me rethink. Oh, this is evil. For $400.
And it's so crazy, man, because that's how Satan be, though, man. It seems like he'll have something created or something that it seems appeasing to the eye. Like, dang, he's doing all this, but then down the road, it may be some things wrong with it that we didn't know about. So Satan made things look appeasing to the eye, so people will be like, "Oh, I want to go buy that. I need to go get that." But then the whole time, it ain't what you think it is.
Come on, man. So you see the price here, $349. This is the Generation 2, $299, $499. So $400 to $500, man, is what people's paying for this. And you'll probably start seeing it now that, you know what I'm saying, now that you know to be aware of what it looks like. You'll probably start seeing it on people's hands, man. Because I mean, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know that all this is on the inside of it, right?
Yep.
Technology and stuff like that. So nonetheless, man, I want to read this one more time. Isaiah 13 and 19. If somebody could read that real quick.
Buck can read it. Obadiah can read it real quick. I'm trying to look up something.
I'll read it. Okay, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19, and it says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah."
Right. So Babylon, right? Babylon is a land of confusion. It's the place that we're in right now. It's an empire. The glory of kingdoms, right? Letting you know it's an empire. And it's the glory of the kingdoms, meaning all these kingdoms around Babylon look to Babylon for money, look to Babylon for influence, to Babylon to be the peacemaker, look to Babylon, you know what I'm saying, for low tariff numbers, right? Look for Babylon for everything, for entertainment, right? The glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the magicians or sorcerers' excellency, meaning Babylon is what it is because of the sorcery. The American dream is what it is because of the sorcery. They gotta lull people to sleep with the technology and entertainment and all of that. And that's how this place has become so excellent, right? But it's gonna be overthrown like Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's see here. Right, so I want to read this real quick before I play the next video. Just a little bit of some history, right? Let's read this real quick. Isaiah 23 and 13.
Isaiah 23 and 13, it says, "Behold, the land of the Chaldeans, this people was not, till the Assyrian founded it for them that dwell in the wilderness. They set up the towers thereof, they raised up the palaces thereof, and he brought it to ruin."
Right, so a little history, man. The Assyrians, right, ruled in the land of Babylon first, right? And then the Neo-Assyrian era came, and that's when you had Chaldeans come and take over, right? And then the Assyrians came back again and started ruling. And then the Chaldeans used the Medes, the Persians and the Medes to defeat the Assyrians, and then they ruled together for a time, right? That's why when you go to Isaiah 13, it says, "Behold, he stirred up the Medes against them," right? That's how the Medes came into play. And then the Chaldeans were overthrown again, right? But I'm just giving this as a little background before we go into this next video, just to show you about the Chaldeans, right? And how they even got into the land, right? They had to beat the Assyrians to get into the land of Babylon. I want to read something else too. I think it's in Genesis. Here you go. Here you go. All praises, man. I was looking for this earlier. Let's start at verse 4. Genesis 15 and 4. Obadiah, if you can read that.
Genesis 15 and 4. "And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thy heir, but he shall come forth out of thy own bowels, shall be thy heir."
right? Pretty much saying, hey, look, Ishmael, not the person. He's talking to Abraham, right? Let's read the next verse.
It says, and he brought him forth abroad and said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
Right? The Israelites, or the seed that comes from Abraham, are going to be the sand of the sea in number. Let's read verse 6.
It says, and he believed in the Lord and counted it to him for righteousness.
And Abraham believed the Lord and said, you know what? I'm going to do things your way. Let's read verse 7.
It says, and he said unto him, I am Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldeans, or Chaldees, to give thee this land to inherit it.
Man. So you'll see Chaldees, or you'll see Chaldeans, or Chaldea, right? It's all the same people. But I'm bringing this out to let you know this is where Abraham came from. Abraham came from amongst these people, right? Do you have that precept that you pulled from Judith?
Yeah, it was Judith 5 and 6 through 7.
So I'm bringing this out to show you, like, man, the Lord is reminding Abraham where he brought him out of. He said, I brought you out of the land of the Chaldeans, the land of the magicians, the land of the sorcerers, right? And one could say this is why we're so spiritual of a people. This is why we have people on the left-hand side into voodoo and hoodoo and witchcraft, and then also why our priests were so powerful when we were under the thumb of God, right? The hand of God. When we were operating in righteousness, our priests were very powerful, right? One could say this is that, right? But you said Judith, because our ancestors came, right? Our forefathers before Abraham came from the Chaldees, the Chaldeans, right? Judith 5, and you said verse what?
6 through 7.
6. Right. Let's read verse 5. Judith 5 and 5.
Judith 5 and 5. Then said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people which dwelleth near thee, and inhabited the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant.
Man. And he's giving some background of the Israelites, right? Read verse 6.
Verse number 6. It says, this people are descended of the Chaldeans.
Right. So this is what we were reading in Genesis, right? A lot of people may be like, what does he mean? He's the descendants of the Chaldeans. We're the Israelites. we're the descendants of Hebrews. What is he talking about? Because a lot of people don't look into that, the nation of people of the Chaldeans, or when they see Chaldeans, they don't know what it means, right? But Chaldeans were actual people, right? Let's read verse 7.
Verse number 7. And they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea.
Right. So our forefathers before Abraham, they were the people of Chaldea. They were the Chaldeans, and the gods of those people had them into sorcery, into magic. And we've decided, well, Abraham decided for us that we're going to serve the Most High God, so that it made a difference between us, right? And the brother Dan said it perfectly before this video started. We became a rose out of concrete, right? Shout out to the brother Dino, right? He got that song on his album. I think his album's called Rose Out of Concrete, right? That concrete being these sorcerers, right? You know what I'm saying? One could say. So our forefathers, right, if you did not know, were Chaldeans, right? They were what the Bible calls Babylonians, right? Those were our forefathers, and we came out of all that mess, right? So let me go to this. Now that we got that, let me go to this video. It's going to be a kind of a historic video, and I'm going to play some of it.
Buckle up. Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four is the #1 movie in the world.
The
Chaldeans were some of history's best diplomats and opportunists. They were a Semitic-speaking tribe that migrated up to southern Mesopotamia and lasted for approximately 230 years.
Here he said, Mesopotamia. What did we just read? That they came from Chaldea in Mesopotamia. They settled in Mesopotamia. Now he's telling you how they, came. And he said they're what? A Shemitic people. So they came from Shem, right? Our forefathers.
The Chaldean people consisted of 5 tribes: the Bit Yakin, the Bit Takuri, the Bit Amukani, the Bit Sa'ala, and the Bit Shilani.
So these tribes were the 5 tribes before Abraham started his own legacy.
They were experts in astronomy, math, and writing. Once the Chaldean
experts in astronomy, math, and writing, right? So the wise men of the land, right? So don't let people tell you that, we're not good at math. It's in our DNA to be good at math, right? It's in our DNA to be good at all these things. And when you see the hieroglyphs and the writings on the wall of Nebuchadnezzar and all these people, these Babylonians, they have woolly beards, and those are our ancestors. They're technically Semitics or Shemitics or Shemites. They're our people. They're Hebrews. Go ahead.
Right, and I remember I got a book called Babylon the Timbuktu, and I can't remember the exact page what it said at, but it's like, when we was brought over in captivity, they found all different type of things that we was good at. It was like a whole list of stuff that we was doing before we was brought over on slave ships. So it don't surprise me, man, that we was good at math and just the wisdom that our ancestors had, man, because that's in us, like you said.
Con, man, I want to go to this precept since you said that. Con, let's read this, Daniel 2:48.
Con, Daniel 2:48. Then the king made Daniel a great man and gave him many great gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, and chief of the governors of all the wise men of Babylon.
Right, so the king made Daniel, a great man over all the wise men of Babylon, because the king of Babylon, when he came into power, he was going around to different kingdoms and getting everybody's wise men for himself so that he could have a council, so that he could have all of them in his courts, right? And he did all that because Daniel told him this, right? A verse behind, if we can read verse 47.
Salakia, can y'all hear me?
Con,
Daniel 2:47, it says, the king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret.
Right? So he made Daniel that way because he was a wise man himself, right? Dealing with the Lord, you know what I'm saying? But the 3 wise men, they were counted as well as wise men. I mean, not the 3 wise men, the 3 Hebrew boys were counted as wise men themselves. And we see even in the New Testament, it talks about the wise men that gave Christ the gifts, right? The Star of David, right? So we understand when it says wise men, right, it's really talking about a little something deeper, right? When we read wise men in the Bible.
Had gunpowder, they had proven that they could build up and defend their empire.
So they were one of the first nations with gunpowder, right? They want to make it seem like, gunpowder and stuff was something modern, but nothing's new under the sun.
Yeah.
60 BC, the Chaldean tribes had moved up to Babylon during a time where Babylon was at a period of weakness, and they couldn't prevent foreign people from invading and settling in their lands. 852 BC, the Chaldean city-states were conquered by the Assyrians, as seen on the black obelisk of Shalmaneser III.
So you have the Assyrian reign, right? So when we go over the vision in Daniel, right? We know that the Assyrians ruled, right? But during the midst of the Assyrian rule was as a back and forth between the Chaldeans and the Assyrians, right? They kind of shared the rule of over Babylon, and Babylon really, right, was this whole area, really kind of this whole Assyrian empire was really kind of Babylon, which we call the Middle East today, or the Fertile Crescent, or Mesopotamia, right? Or we could say the land that's allotted to us as well. right? From the Nile, right? From the Nile to the Euphrates. From the Nile to the Euphrates, right?
In 780 BC, Marduk Apla Usar takes control of Babylon while the Assyrians are settling rebellions around their empire. 748 BC, Babylonians take back control of Babylon from the Chaldeans. 721 BC.
See, I want you to understand. He's gonna say it in a couple seconds. But at one point, Babylonians were not seen as Chaldeans, right? The Chaldeans had to come and rule a couple of times before they were seen as one and the same. And I'm sure that's through mixing and mingling and things of that nature, right? But once again, like this is what I was saying. Like you see the BDBs in his hair and in his beard. That's how you know that these were brothers.
King Sargon II of Assyria campaigns against northern peoples. The Chaldeans take over Babylon. In 710 BC, King Sargon II of Assyria reconquers Babylonia from the Chaldeans. In 703 BC, Chaldeans take the Babylonian throne but lose it shortly after. In 700 BC, Chaldeans again fell in a revolt against Assyria.
And some scholars say that the king of the Chaldeans and the king of Assyria were related. Some say that they were like half brothers, and that's why they kept fighting each other. And they kept trying to reign in Babylon because they believed one of them thought that it was their inheritance and the other one thought it was their inheritance, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
620 BC.
You can see it's in our culture kind of though, that even the Babylonians, they still were a fringe group of people.
Yeah. If you go in and you type in ancient Babylonian garments, every single picture that pulls up has fringes on there. I think some of them even have borders of blue. But if you just type in ancient Babylonian garments, every single last one of them have fringes. And what I thought it was kind of you butchered that for sure.
Yeah, I did.
Go to images. No, it popped up though. Oh yeah. Go to images. Almost all of these got fringes, even the ones like the hieroglyphs and stuff got fringes and stuff. And so it was funny to me, man, because it's funny because you read stories about like Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and you see how like when they were brought up, they were given Babylonian garments, and some people might think, well, they were wearing Babylonian garments, they probably wasn't wearing fringes, but 9 times out of 10 they probably were wearing fringes even with the Babylonian garments because they were kind of one and the same.
Yeah, you can see they had the pink fringes, the white fringes, the gold fringes, the orange fringes, and so you see that is a little border of blue right there, the blue fringes. So you'll see all these beautiful colors and stuff. You'll see that when we went into these lands, the people that were caught with Babylonian garments when they weren't supposed to have them, right? They look good to them. They're like, man, this Gucci, this Louis V, this, what I'm saying? This is Christian Dior.
And it was awful to wear technically because it had fringes on it and stuff like that. So like you run across one, what I'm saying? You might think, hey, I'm gonna keep this for myself. It's like you running into a rich person's house and
Yeah, and technically, you coveting over another nation's garment, but technically, y'all are cousins because y'all come from the same people. You know what I'm saying? So we could see that even as cousins, it was the same taste. We had the same taste and style, I guess you could say, right? But I like this video because it sound like a heathen that's doing a video, but the images that he's bringing, like you could tell, this is a brother right here, man.
Yeah, for sure. That's an Israelite brother there.
Yeah, he might play for the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, whoa, brother, that's swole, brother, man.
Yeah.
Brother got that purple and gold on like IUIC.
I will say this too, though. You gotta understand these sports and stuff. We used to be kings, man. I know people use that as a joke, like we used to be kings, but we used to be kings. We wasn't playing basketball and football. Those people that you see on the court, man, they wasn't entertainers. They were rulers. They were protectors. They were warriors. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put fear in people's heart.
Yeah. So just imagine if, we put, just imagine we change from playing sports to really just coming together and having that warrior mentality, it'd be completely different.
Right.
You know, we already dominating in sports. How much more we come together and we just do martial arts, MMA, and just do that to protect our people. They wouldn't know what to do.
Come on, man. They call him King James, right? Imagine if King James was a warrior. Imagine how many thousands of men he could put to flight, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shaquille O'Neal, man.
Right, Shaquille O'Neal. Like these brothers they're big, but they be getting up the floor, jumping above the rim like consistently.
Right.
So it was Kevin Garnett said it's an average of running that they're doing. They're running like 8 miles a day playing these games, bro. So these are fit big guys, not to mention the people that's in the NFL, right? Imagine these people on a battlefield. People would flee from us, man.
And that's why it was a discussion, Slocky. It was a discussion. I remember this was like last year, 2 years ago. Somebody that used to be in the NFL, he was like, it should be an all white game versus an all black game. Like all the black players be on one team and all the white players be on one team and they play each other. And then you had people getting upset about it. That, mainly it was Edomites that were getting upset, like someone was saying that it'd be a close game. They're like, it'd be a close game. I'm like, bro, y'all know it would not be no close game if all the black NFL players was on one team and all the white NFL players was on another team. That would not be a close game, bro. But they just got to trick themselves in their mind to think, that they on our level, but they know that they not.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, games like that would never be publicized for real, man. Because I feel like it would go down. It would cause a lot of commotion, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like originally it would be for entertainment and it would be cool to watch, but you got to deal with so many different barriers, like actual racists showing up to the game and taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? For people to really start contemplating, because if you do that, it won't take too long for black people to just realize we just need to go start our own league. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want that either. So there's a bunch of barriers they gotta factors they gotta look into. And I think that's why ultimately it'll never happen, to be honest, because so much can come from out of that, good and bad, to be honest.
Yeah, because I remember Cam Newton just came out like yesterday or 2 days ago. He had posted something something about HBCUs, how they should have you seen that?
They own a little sports center. They own a little sports center. That would be dope, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
not a sports center, but he wanted to have their own college game day. College game day is big.
Yeah, it's pretty much sports center though. Like, where you get to talk about.
Well, he wanted them to be on Sports Center. That's the thing. Like, he wanted them to have their own college game day.
Oh, he wanted to use their network.
Where it was like, Morehouse is playing today, Hampton's playing today, Clark.
I like it, bro, because like it would cause him to actually research and study these players that nobody really know about. And then it'll also bring awareness to these players too, if people keep hearing their names. Is also. So it's like, because HBCU got a bunch of talent, but we don't really hear about them unless they transfer to Colorado. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
But I think it'd be cool.
And people in the comments, they were like, why, they was like making it, racial and things like that. It's like,
yeah, somebody said, or they could just be good enough to make college game day.
Right. Yeah, saying stuff like that.
Look at Shedeur Sanders, bro. He wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, bro? White people, man, they be saying this stuff and they don't be thinking like we're in reality. Like, I watched the video with where they was talking about Shedeur and how the owner was saying that it wasn't his choice to select him, but pretty much we here now. And there was a commentator saying pretty much this along the same lines, like, who cares about what happened? He's on the team now. People shouldn't be focused on that no more. And he pretty much said it's a fair league. The best man will play, this, that, and the third. And Stephen A. Smith was like, "Oh, how dare you say that?" He said, "I just got off the phone with his dad. His dad told me how is he going to end up playing if he only get 3 reps of practice? He said, you telling me it's a fair league, and everybody on this stage know it's not a fair league. He said, if he get a fair shot, we know what happened, but we know he's not going to get a fair shot. He said he probably is going to play in the preseason, but only getting 3 reps of practice, they're setting him up for failure.
Only 3 reps is crazy, bro.
But and so he was saying Deion was telling him that he doesn't even want him to finish out the camp because it was so bad. But the crazy part is, man, white people would be so oblivious to, the stuff that we have to fight to just to even be considered to be equal. But I bring Shedeur up because Shedeur was playing for HBCU and he wasn't getting as much coverage as he was when he was playing for Colorado. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah, I seen this is a sidebar. I like the fact that Shadeur's not taking it to heart, man. He understands like this ain't the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? Even if it don't go his way, he understands to not make football his God. I think that checked in after the whole draft situation. But he was joking with one of his teammates, man, and he was pretty much like, man, when you think I'm gonna get in, man? When am I gonna get when you think I'm gonna get put in or whatever, or get some reps in? And then his teammate was like, reps? What, you trying to be a tight end? You want to be a receiver now? like he pretty much was like, bro, they're not finna put you in no reps for quarterback.
And it's so crazy.
And they both started laughing about it because it's kind of how they were laughing during the whole draft thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know what's going on type thing.
And I remember when that first happened, man, like, when people was upset that Shedeur, he wasn't getting drafted yet. And you had, Edomites in the comments. They was like, well, you can't say it's about racism because Cam Ward, he was drafted number 1 and he's a black quarterback. So it's nothing to do with racism, but that goes back to what Denal said. They be oblivious to racism. Like they just don't be, they think it's nothing. They look past it. Like, yeah, Cam Ward was drafted number 1. But look how they doing Shedeur though. We know that he should have been drafted, first round. We know that. Everybody know that.
At least second round, bro. Fifth is crazy. That's deliberate.
One of the best quarterbacks in the draft.
And for his owners, he's already on the team. He's already been in camp. For the owner to come out and say, if somebody would have told me we were gonna select Shedeur Sanders the Friday before he got selected, I would have said that ain't happening. But ultimately, we had some conversations, and it was so-and-so's call. I forgot who they said it was his call. But like, why even say something like that? He already on the team. You saying that just to get in that man's mind.
It was a call.
Yeah, but you saying those comments after he already made the team to get in his mind, right? Banking on that he's a crash out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Deion already told him, like, bro, it's really kind of slavery the way that these owners operate. You don't ever make these owners your family. I'm pretty sure Deion gave him the whole spiel.
Yeah.
Sidebar before I play this video though, I know brothers keep asking, like a lot of people keep asking in the world, what's wrong with Deion? Why he keep breaking down? Sidebar, a lot of us forgot, and we can make a video probably on this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people forgot they was using Deion for one of the main people advocating to get that shot. They had him all on interviews. They had him all on the TV giving his speeches. This is so serious. Y'all get that shot. That shot giving him blood clots and breaking his body down. A lot of people forget that. A lot of people see him preaching about God and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, we gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? But let's finish this video out so we can get these last 2 precepts in, and then we'll shut it down. And we're gonna be downtown Macon today, man. Cherry Street. Pull up if you're in the area.
The Empire gave the opportunity for the Chaldean king Nabopolassar to take Babylon. During this time, the Chaldeans used this new power to make an alliance with the Medes, then ultimately defeated the Assyrian Empire.
The Persians and the Medes ruled after the Assyrians, but the help of the Chaldeans. So you see, the Chaldeans was always kind of in the background of Babylon, the Persians and Medes, the Assyrians, right? But they're not really the main titles of these empires and kingdoms, because you'll see their names really just got turned into the Babylonians.
Taking control of the land from Mesopotamia to the Mediterranean. 604 BC, King Nebuchadnezzar II, the greatest king, had ruled from a ziggurat and had rebuilt all of the Babylonian cities. He also expanded his empire into Egypt and Asia Minor. In 597 BC, they conquered Jerusalem as documented in the Bible.
That's where the 3 Hebrew boys and Daniel got captured.
The death of Nebuchadnezzar II in 562 BC brought an end to Chaldean stability. Many kings had come and gone, and by 539 BC, the Chaldean Empire was conquered by Cyrus II of Persia.
Yep, the Persians and the Medes.
Within a couple of centuries, the Chaldeans had completely assimilated into Babylon, and the word Chaldean had lost all.
They completely assimilated into Babylon, mixed, mingled, adopted cultures, right? The Chaldeans, pretty much in this world, they became Americans, right? So imagine another nation of people that came over here and just liked it so much that they just became Americans. I.e., that's what the Europeans did. That the Britons that came, they came over here, and they made their own culture, their own colonies, and people just called themselves Americans.
Links to a race, people, or land.
They lost all their links to a race, people, or a land, right? So they became a lost people too. They just became known as the Babylonians, though. You know what I'm saying?
Referring to the trade of witchcraft and astrology by all following records.
So they're known for what? Witchcraft, astrology, witchcraft, and astrology. So that's why a lot of our people innately, they love zodiac and all of that. Like our people be the main ones talking about zodiac signs. And it's because it's in our blood, though. I ain't gonna lie, our forefathers from the land of the Chaldees in Mesopotamia, right? But we can end that, right? Let's go over these last 2 precepts and we'll close it down. Daniel 4 and 7.
Daniel 4 and 7, it says, then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof.
Right. So the king was trying to find out the interpretation of his dream. So he called in who? The magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. Right. He called in the people of the Chaldeans. You probably could pick just a random kid. They probably would know, you know what I'm saying? Because they're known from birth to know the sorcery and magic and being and magic and stuff like that. So that's why the Chaldeans are lumped in with all of these people, because they're known for their witchcraft, right? He wanted them to interpret the dream, but they couldn't even do it. Only Daniel could, right? Because, you know, God had, Jeremiah 29 said when we went into Babylon that he had plans for us, right? That not harm us, that we had an expected end. Daniel was part of that plan in that first Babylon, right? Exodus 7 and 11.
Exodus 7 and 11, it says, then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments,
right? So when Pharaoh called these people, remember what we just watched in that video, the Chaldeans, when they helped Babylon rule, they conquered Egypt and Asia Minor. So these magicians were going to be found in Pharaoh's army as well. Not to mention, this is before the reign of Babylon, right? So when we think about it, right, the magicians and Chaldeans were always kind of in that area, because you got to think they were close to the land of the Chaldeans, because when Abraham came out of the land, where did he go? He went into Egypt.
Right.
They were neighboring. Right? Let's get verse 12.
Verse 12, for they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents, but Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods.
Right, and I'm just reading this just to show you that the Chaldeans have always been there in the background, man. People just didn't pay attention to who they were. But they were the sorcerers, the magicians, right? The wise men. Those were the Chaldeans, man. So they was even there in the time of Moses, right? But, you know, without further ado, man, we're going to wrap that up. I hope that was edifying to the people. And I hope, you know, spiritually, it was eye-opening when it comes to things like that aura ring and things of that nature, man. But like I said, we're going to be downtown Cherry Street, downtown Macon. and Lord willing, you know what I'm saying, we can wake up some sheep, even though it's kind of sprinkling on and off all day, you know what I'm saying? But that's never stopped us before. So once again, I'm your brother Azrael.
Brother Obadiah.
And brother Isaiah, man. And like we always say, like our big brother Christ said, man, if you're not gathering, you're scattering. Right? So we got to gather together, O nation not desired. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.